Albuquerque police spent days chasing him, and this morning Kevin Folse is behind bars. But before officers in Isleta finally caught him, they say he carjacked a teenager. The victims describe it as a terrifying ordeal. News 13's Candace Hopkins has their story.
This is my home. I don't feel safe. None of us feel safe.
It's been 3 days since this woman's grandson was forced out of her car at gunpoint in front of her home in the Northeast Heights. Even though police say they caught the guy, she's still too scared to show her face.
You know, it took away our whole sense of security, especially the more that you found out about how much of a criminal this man is.
Detectives say Kevin Folse has a long rap sheet: burglaries, frauds, and auto thefts, like what happened here Thursday. The woman who owns this home near Wantabo and Manal was inside around 11 a.m. Her 13-year-old grandson was sitting in her car waiting to leave with her.
Her door opened and this man jumped in and told him he had 3 seconds to get out. Thank God he let him get out.
The teen says Folse nearly ran him over as he sped off, eventually abandoning the car on I-40 and hiding at Wayland Baptist University. The school was locked down for hours. Folse escaped. By this point, police had been chasing him for 3 days. They say they spotted him on Tuesday driving a stolen car. Then on Thursday, detectives spotted him again. He got away both times. They tracked him down to this home near Eubank in Manal. Police eventually left, believing he wasn't a threat. But when Folse left, he's accused of taking 2 hostages and his girlfriend with him. They say he then crashed a car near Wantabo and Manal, then carjacked the teen just a few streets away. Isleta police finally took him into custody this morning, but Folse's alleged victims say they won't be sleeping soundly anytime soon.
You're still scared, even though he's caught, you're still scared. Because he has friends, family.
Candace Hopkins, KRQE News 13.
Folse is now facing a number of charges, including unlawful taking of a motor vehicle, armed robbery, and kidnapping. Albuquerque police say federal charges are pending. The repeat felon accused of killing a Rio Rancho police officer has racked up another charge behind bars. Andrew Romero is accused of trying to reverse headbutt an MDC guard earlier this week. According to a criminal complaint, Romero was taken to the ground and tased right after. He was in court yesterday facing an assault charge. Romero was already behind bars on murder charges, accused of shooting and killing Officer Greg Nigel Benner during a traffic stop in May. The man shot while trying to rob a Domino's pizza driver may not be getting out of jail anytime soon. Albuquerque police say Gerardo Alvarado robbed the Domino's near 12th and Manal at gunpoint last Sunday night, then trying to rob a delivery driver before the driver took matters into his own hands and shot Alvarado. Yesterday in court, the judge handed him a $150,000 cash-only bond. APD did not charge the delivery driver for shooting Alvarado. Another 4th of July has come and gone. People from all across the state celebrated Independence Day, and one of the biggest parties popped off right here in Albuquerque. Freedom 4th was a free event hosted by the city. The big draw, of course, the largest fireworks show in the state, a 25-minute spectacular. Before the fireworks launched, it was Grammy-nominated country music duo Thompson Square who took the stage for a much-anticipated performance. About 60,000 people came to last year's event. Event-goers say they keep coming back because of the family-friendly atmosphere.
It's a safe environment. There's cops all around, so you don't have to really worry about much. You know, they kind of regulate what you bring in, so there's no alcohol, so nobody's getting angry or out of hand.
It's really cool here. It's like a family get together, and I get to see everyone else here, my family, and concert and the fireworks. It's just cool.
This year, the city expected 60 to 80,000 people to attend the event. The fire department has already been plenty busy cracking down on illegal fireworks this holiday weekend. AFD says it took 210 calls to its hotline last night. Fire marshals handed out 7 illegal fireworks citations. That's already as many as the fire department handed out for the entire holiday 2 years ago. Now, if you want to report illegal fireworks in Albuquerque, you can call 833-7335. Authorities have also been cracking down on drinking and driving this holiday weekend. There are several DWI checkpoints set up around the city. So where's the best place to get a DWI in New Mexico? Rio Arriba County's magistrate courts had the worst DWI conviction rate last year. That's according to a new report released by the Administrative Office of the Courts. Now, of the 295 DWI cases, only about 1/3 of the cases ended in convictions. The Journal says there were so many dismissals because the state didn't receive court documents on time. Well, 9 people suffered minor burns when something went wrong during a fireworks show in Colorado. The town manager of Avon, Colorado, says a malfunction caused a fireworks shell to explode in its tube rather than firing into the sky Friday night. Now, she says the misfired shell then caused a rack of shells to tip, and 2 or 3 shells went off near the crowd. The accident occurred about 17 minutes into the 23-minute fireworks show, bringing everything to a stop. Police across the country remained on high alert as people gathered to celebrate for the 4th of July. In New York, police were concerned about a potential lone wolf-style attack and deployed an extra 7,000 heavily armed officers to watch over the crowd. Spectators say they weren't going to let a terror warning rain on their parade.
We can't live our lives in fear. Bad things can happen, but we can't live our lives in fear.
Thousands of people passed through screening checkpoints before they could find a spot to watch the fireworks. ISIS has called on its followers to attack during the Muslim holy month of Ramadan, which ends in mid-July. Russian President Vladimir Putin wished the United States a happy Independence Day. Russia says Putin sent Obama a message on Friday. In it, he wrote that relations between the U.S. and Russia remain important despite their differences. Putin said he is confident both countries can work together. Relations between the U.S. and Russia have stumbled in part due to Russia's role in the Ukraine crisis. Well, after chasing him for several days, police have finally caught up with carjacking suspect Kevin Foles. Foles is accused of carjacking a 13-year-old boy Thursday as he sat in his grandmother's car at her home near Wantabo in Manal. After the carjacking, police say Foles abandoned the vehicle on I-40 and hid at a building at Wayland Baptist University. That prompted a lockdown at the school. Police say Foles is well known to them and has a long rap sheet. That's why his carjacking victims say they're still scared, even though he is behind bars.
You know, it took away our whole sense of security, and especially the more that we found out about how much of a criminal this man is. It's terrifying.
Foles had eluded police for several days before that incident. Isleta police took him into custody yesterday morning thanks to a tip from a resident. He's facing numerous charges, including unlawful taking of a motor vehicle, armed robbery, and kidnapping. Albuquerque police say federal charges are pending. The case of the 3 teens accused of beating 2 homeless men to death last summer could go to the New Mexico Supreme Court. The Journal reports the judge hearing the case has rejected the defense's challenge that would allow 2 of them to be tried as adults. Second Judicial District Judge Brianna Zamora said that the serious youthful offender statute does not violate the state's Constitution's equal protection guarantee. Last July, police say 15-year-old Nathaniel Carrillo, 16-year-old Gilbert Tafoya, and 18-year-old Alex Rios killed 2 homeless men in a vacant lot near Central and 60th Street. A company contracted to help the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center in Artesia is looking for people to fill several jobs. The Roswell Daily Record reports that Omni Corporation is trying to hire 50 people for several positions as the labor dispute enters a second week. Now, the full-time and part-time positions that need filling include janitorial services, grounds maintenance, carpenters, and warehouse personnel. A union representing the workers claims the training facility is already feeling the effects of the strike with unsanitary bathrooms, overflowing trash, and dirty training areas. The workers have been on strike since June 25th over an extension of a bargaining agreement. Well, the Roswell Airport has received $9 million from the feds to make major improvements. The Carlsbad Current Argus reports that the money is going to repaving 5,000 feet of runway. The airport received a $450,000 grant last year to help start direct flights from Roswell to Phoenix. It's unclear when those flights will begin. A Texas man is dead after alligators attacked him when he jumped into a lake. Co-workers of 28-year-old Tommy Woodward and an unidentified woman warned the two not to go swimming early Friday morning, saying they had seen an alligator in the water earlier in the week. According to his co-workers, Woodward said blank the alligators and the pair jumped in. Michelle Wright says that's when the gator dragged Woodward under the water.
And I kept trying to figure out and calling his name, and he was dead. And it's heartbreaking.
Woodward's body was found about 200 yards away from where he jumped in. The woman was not injured. Officials say the attack is the first deadly alligator attack in Texas since 1928. North Carolina's governor is trying to keep the state's waters safe from shark attacks. He says safety officials should consider restrictions on shark fishing around areas where people are swimming, especially now during the summer tourist season. So far, there have been 11 attacks in North Carolina waters alone. Some say they're afraid to go for a swim. Others say they aren't too concerned.
I know there's more this year, but it's just such a rare thing, and there's so many other problems you're going to have on July 4th.
Well, scientists don't know why there has been an increase in shark attacks, but theories include sea turtle migration and warmer water from rising temps in the ocean. We'll take a look at this. Beachgoers in California got the shock of their lives after a plane crashed on shore. It happened yesterday as people were enjoying their 4th of July. The plane makes a landing on the beach, narrowly missing people who are fleeing. One person was taken to the hospital. It's unclear what caused the crash. In a close call for a woman in South Florida who smashed her car through a seawall and ended up with her car teetering on the edge of a dock. Rescue crews were able to get her out safely, but they had to let the car fall in the water before a towing company could pull it out. No one was hurt. It's not clear how the woman crashed or if she'll be facing any charges. A sign on a police van in Baltimore is causing outrage after photos of it surfaced in a city newspaper. The sign reads, "Enjoy your ride because we sure will." The Baltimore Police Department says they're taking it very seriously. The controversy comes on the heels of the death of Freddie Gray, who was killed while being transported in a similar van. The city's police commissioner is now ordering an inspection of all police vehicles. The FDA is investigating the potential risk of codeine in kids' medicine. Codeine is a type of narcotic that is used to treat pains and reduce coughing. Side effects in children sometimes include difficulty breathing, confusion, or unusual sleepiness. Healthcare professionals say in the meantime, parents should continue to follow the instructions on the drug labels and use caution giving kids medicine. A new study finds people can't remember personal data because it's just a click away. Researchers at Sky Lab call it digital amnesia. They found 44% of those surveyed say their smartphones serve as their memory.